Here we are with the American Police Hall of Fame Museum TV. We are honored today to have Dr. Wes Doss. I say this with utmost candor and respect. Wes is one of the premier law enforcement and tactical instructors in the community today. I've known him for quite some time, and it really truly is an honor to have you and have this interview here at this beautiful facility, which we'll talk about here in a minute. But Wes, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit to the viewers of the Police Hall of Fame TV, and we'll get this out worldwide a little bit, and tell everybody what you're doing, all the wonderful things you're doing.
Absolutely. Like you said, I'm Wes Doss. I'm the founder and president and currently lead instructor for Kyber Interactive Associates, which is a training and consulting firm based out of Arizona. And today, what we're part of is a training initiative that we started a little over a year ago called the Light Sights and Lasers U.S. Tour. And the previous year, it took us to 19 host locations all over the United States. This year, we scaled back a little bit. We're at 10 locations, but we are hitting larger metropolitan and different impact areas around the country. It's a free training initiative to law enforcement, post-accredited training, and it's kind of a sponsor-driven event that allows sponsors that are very pro-law enforcement to give back to the agencies that they support, especially in these times of diminished training budgets and diminished support for the officer on the street.
Well, first of all, I'd like to expand on that. What you're doing is simply amazing as far as getting law enforcement officers more quality training. And like you said, I hear a lot as a director of law enforcement training for the Police Hall of Fame, people it's just not in their budget to do anything to get out there and do this. So now they cannot say that anymore. They can hit your tours, and definitely it's worthwhile for them to go ahead and get extended training. And I know you're going to put out an outstanding program. I'm going to be participating in it myself. What do you think the diminished problems are in law enforcement as in the case of firearms?
Well, it's the whole gamut. In the LE side of the house, there's just so much for an officer to do these days. They're involved from everything. The shift work and the details are so much more labor intensive than they were in the past. We've got so many more pieces of equipment that they have to be responsible for, so much more that's going on, and they have to be trained on all that. And then the laws and then all the litigious nature of society keeps changing, so it's putting a greater demand on a lot of the administrative side of law enforcement, which takes time away from the proficiency skills. And the problem is the proficiency skills, which we don't use every single day of the week, every hour of every shift, become perishable skills, and that means that they need to be trained on more because we forget how to do them. We don't become proficient, we lose our skills.
One of the most unfortunate parts of my job is I get the officers that have been killed in the line of duty reports, and as you know, which is the emphasis of your training today, that there's so many problems that occur at night and in low light situations. And I wonder if you would take a minute to elaborate on that.
Well, absolutely. The vast majority of any shift, even day shift, revolves around diminished light, not perfect lighting systems. And the biggest problem in that is most people don't really realize what diminished light means. And the fact is that you believe when you walk outside and it's dusk that because you can see an object in front of you that you have perfect vision. Your vision has been diminished tremendously. And there is so much demand on the officer to make appropriate decisions, to see, identify, and understand what's in front of them, that we're leaving a lot of stuff up to chance.
Well, like I said, I just thank you so very much for helping law enforcement officers because it is a tough job and it's a thankless job and it's a dangerous job. We know that from our experience as far as being involved in shootings and understanding what the ramifications come with that. And like you said, split-second decision shootings. I'm very looking forward to the training that you're going to be providing for. Anxious to get my hands on the equipment, different types of equipment. We will be elaborating more on this DVD of the segment when we do actual field work and get some hands-on shooting and training from Wes Doss. Wes, I want to thank you so very much for your time. You're such a, I don't want to be sounding sycophantic here, but there's not that many role models out there for a lot of people, and I consider you one for this community, bar none. You're one of the top guys out there, and I thank you for what you're
Oh,
doing.
humble, I appreciate that.